You are watching Cable Channel 17, Schenectady, New York's only public access channel. It's 9 a.m. Sunday morning, and that means it's time for the weekly Book of the Month Club, hosted by Antoine Buttermilk, bringing the finest in book reviewery to the greater Schenectady region for over 17 years.
There has been much discussion and anticipation for this book to come out. Why did you take so long to write it?
There was some talk a few years ago about a collection of essays and adventures, right? From my time on Dirty Jobs, and I was going to do that, but that would really have taken a lot of time. This took time because I really wanted to wait until politically things had settled down a little bit. It took me a while to write it because it took me a while to get to the point where I felt like, A, I had something to say, and B, I could say it in a fashion that was to the subject at hand.
Train A leaves the station at noon, going 30 miles an hour. Train B leaves the same station at 2 p.m. on the same track, traveling 40 miles an hour. At what time will Train B catch up with Train A?
How fast the first one going?
30 miles an hour, leaving at noon.
30x plus 60 is 40. X is worth 10. Catch it in 6 hours. Train A gets there at 8.
Tell me about Caterpillar's involvement in your venture.
Caterpillar has been a supporter of MicroWorks since 2008. We are mutually aligned around this topic. Caterpillar's challenged with recruiting technical people, with people who are willing to work hard and learn a useful skill, right? Technician recruitment is a big deal there. Many of the jobs on Dirty Jobs and referenced in Profoundly Disconnected are great jobs, but they're difficult to fill because people don't see them as great jobs. And so that's why Kat helped me with the book.
You were born on March 18th, which means you share a birthday with a president and a queen. The president, Grover Cleveland. The queen, Latifah.
Thank you. I didn't know I shared a birthday with those two. I was actually born at midnight, if you're interested, on St. Patty's Day, right at the stroke of midnight. And the doctors gave my mother a choice to decide which day. Would it be the 17th of March or the 18th? But they chose the 18th somewhat arbitrarily because I'm not really Irish.
Now it's the time in the show that everybody loves. It's called The Lightning Round. It's where our guest answers as many questions as they can in 30 seconds. Are you ready?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
In a row?
In a row.
Yeah. Okay, hit me.
What makes Micro happy?
Sushi.
What makes Micro sad?
Old sushi.
What's the best part of being Micro?
Getting to meet people like you.
What's the worst part of being Micro?
See previous answer.
What world-renowned Russian pianist released an album of 18th century sonatas by Scarlatti?
Vladimir Horowitz.
Favorite candy bar?
Candy what?
Bar.
Bar?
Bar.
Candy bar?
Bar.
The $100,000 bar.
You say your book is only one page, but correct me if I'm wrong, this looks like more than one page.
Yes, there's one page of original content, which is the confession. My confession that speaks to my reliance and my dependence on skilled labor. But as you can see, there are other pages. Now, many of them are blank, and those blank pages exist to provide a little structural integrity to what would otherwise be a very skinny manuscript. There's a foreword that's written by my mom, which is heartfelt and touching. And that's preceded by an introduction where I explain to the reader precisely why I wrote the book. There's also a dedication page and a table of contents. There's some acknowledgments. And of course, there's an appendix, which is surprisingly robust. Doesn't consist of any new material, really, but just some things I've published. It is a book, but it's designed mostly to help generate this larger conversation that I believe the country needs to have about its relationship with work and education. Does that make sense?
That concludes this week's episode of the Weekly Book of the Month Club with Antoine Buttermill. My guest today was Mike Rowe. Thank you for coming, Mike. I really appreciate it.
It's been something. Thank you.
It's certainly been an interview.
It certainly has.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. No, thank you for having me. Seriously, I didn't know what to expect. I'll come back anytime. And with your, if I could I address your viewers directly for a moment? Do you mind? Profoundly Disconnected is my very first book. It'll probably be my last one. This is what it looks like. This is what I look like on the cover, reading the very book I'm holding right now as I hold the book I'm talking about on the cover. And I think Antoine summed most of it up. I don't really care if you read it, but I would love it if you buy it because the money goes to a great cause.